Hello everybody, it's Pitt here reading Chapter 3 of Fandom Crisis by Mr. Boltitude. Okay, Chapter 3, Eye of the Storm. Nyx's eyes fluttered open, her head throbbed and her throat ached in thirst. She took in her surroundings. She was laying on a big comfy bed under a blanket of silk. She was in a dome-shaped room, an expertly painted mural of ponies frolicking in a field stretched around the wall. A skylight surrounded by purple banners set the sunlight peek in. From the position of the sun, Nyx guessed it was a little past noon. The floor of the room appeared to be made of marble. It was so polished, Nyx could see her reflection. A golden sun was emblazoned in the center. How did she get here? She tried to remember, but everything was fuzzy. She remembered being terribly afraid. Had Twilight missed another deadline? Ever so slowly, the events of that morning came back to her. She had to find Twilight. They had to get back home, back to the library, and Spike and the Cutie Mark Crusaders, where she didn't have to worry about time travel, boxes, or stallions who looked like her mother. Where the only thing in her life didn't make sense was Pinkie Pie. She hopped out of bed and galloped to the doors. They swung open just as she got to them. A tall, snow-white alicorn with a fiery red beard stood in the entrance. He could easily step on me if he wanted to, Nyx thought. Ah, good, he said. You're awake. Welcome. My name is Prince Solaris. Hi, I'm Nyx. Well, Nyx, looks like we have a lot we need to talk about. Maybe sometime later. Right now, I need to get a glass of water and find my mom, Nyx said as she tried to walk past the royal stallion. He held her back with his wing. I don't think you understand me, little one. I need to know who you are and where you came from. It's vitally important. Nyx sat down and forced tears from her eyes to form in her eyes. She looked up at Solaris with the saddest puppy dog face she could muster. Please, sir, just take me to my mommy. I don't know where I am. I can try to answer your questions on the way. Sometimes Nyx was surprised her own special talent wasn't crying. It could be so useful. I don't see any reason why not. Come this way, child, said Solaris. The two alicorns walked out into the marble hallway. Nyx glanced out arch windows at the sky at the skyline below her. Hey, we're in Canterlot. This is the castle. Why, yes, this is... Where's Celestia and Luna? Who are you, mister? Nyx asked, panic growing in her voice. Was this Solaris pony some kind of invader trying to take the throne? What did he want with her? I told you, I'm Prince Solaris, co-ruler of Equestria, and steward of the sun. What's a Celestia? Nyx couldn't believe her eyes. The real ruler of Equestria. This is her castle. I don't know who you are, but I won't let you take over Equestria, Nyx challenged. Nyx, I assure you, this is my castle, and I am ruler of Equestria. I have been for over 8,000 years. Nyx let Solaris's words sink in. Then she remembered the female baby dragon and the stallion that looked like Twilight, and she had came into a vague realization of what had happened. Oh my gosh, Mr. Solaris, do you know if there's a word for when something starts to make sense and becomes way more confusing at the same time? Derpy and the doctor galloped through the streets as fast as they could. Doctor, where are we going? Derpy asked. The doctor skidded to a stop. Good question. We need to find out who that alicorn was. Then we probably need to get the elements of harmony together. If that alicorn is hostile, the elements would be our only real defense. In any case, we have to get Twilight before it's too late. I thought we were worried about Nyx. We are. We're worried about both of them. Nyx is going to control the moon, so someone's going to have to go on to move the sun. Oh, I get it, Derpy exclaimed. Then a shocked look of realization came over her face. Oh, Celestia, we have to make sure they stay safe. Exactly. The future depends on it. So then, where are we going? Let's see. We're close to the market. The element of honesty hangs out around there, right? The orange one with the terrifying little sister? Derpy put her hoof to her chin. Well, it's just past noon and it's harvest time, so yeah, she should be. The couple came to the farmer's market where everywhere ponies milled about the produce stands, admiring the fresh fruits and veggies. They wandered about till Derpy found a stand surrounded by barrels of big, bright red apples. An orange pony with a blonde mane and a picture of 3 apples on her rump worked the stand, her back turned to them. Well, this is the place, Dr. Derpy said. Right, said the doctor. He trotted casually to the nearest barrel. He picked out the biggest apple he could find and carefully looked it over. Excuse me, Applejack, is it? I need you and your friends to help me with something. It's very urgent. The pony turned around. Well, howdy. I don't recall ever meeting y'all. How can I be of assistance? He said. Derpy and the doctor's jaws dropped. Standing before them was a stallion who was a dead ringer for Applejack. The doctor began to chuckle. All of reality pulled a crying game on us. All right, I'm recording. All right. Twilight felt a tap on her head. Rousing from the blackness, she was finally getting some good sleep, too. Nix, stop it, she mumbled. Nix would sometimes tap her horn when she wanted her to wake up on the weekends. Wait a sec. She had been hit by a sleep spell. She had to get up. Nix was still in trouble. Her eyelids burst open. She quickly scanned the room she was in. It is a small, dark stone room with a heavy door. She saw her reflection in front of her, except something was off about it. Her jaw looked square, and her mane looked shorter. Then she realized there wasn't a mirror in the room, and she screamed, which caused the stallion in front of her to scream. What's going on? She exclaimed. Is this some kind of joke? That's what I would like to know, the stallion said accusingly. You look just like me, and not just kind of like me, exactly like me, except I'm a girl? Well, I mean, that goes without saying. I guess this might go over easier if we introduce ourselves. I'm Dusk Shine. Twilight Sparkle, she said, offering her hoof. Dusk cautiously shook it. Where am I? In the royal castle in Canterlot, Dusk answered. Your trial will start in an hour. Trial? Twilight exclaimed. You attacked the prince. What do you think was going to happen? The same thing that would happen to any pony who tries to hurt my daughter. You mean that little monster was your daughter? I'm beginning to not like you very much, Duskshine. She nearly killed my assistant. She's the spitting image of Anarchy Artemis. What's an Anarchy Artemis? You're kidding, right? Duskshine asked cautiously. Incredulously. Incredulously. That's a big word. Anarchy Artemis was created when my brother, Prince Bulan, lost his way. Prince Solaris explained. Oh, okay. I get that. I am tasked with control of the sun, and he is tasked with control of the moon. He felt like no pony appreciated the night he created, so he allowed the bitterness in his heart to transform him into a stallion of darkness. So you banished him to the moon for 1,000 years, and then he escaped, and Duskshine of yours and his friends had to gather the elements of harmony to defeat him, Nyx interrupted. Yes, I thought you said you didn't know the story. I didn't. I came from the place where this all happened. Except you're a mare named Princess Celestia. He's a mare named Princess Luna. Yeah, okay. And Dustshine's name was Twilight Sparkle. She's my mom. That's quite a claim, Nyx. Oh, that's not the half of it. It's not an eighth of it, actually, Nyx mused. Right. That's quite a story you got there, Doc, Applejack said. He walked with the 2 strange ponies towards Sugar Cube Corner. Time travel, alternate realities, another me that's a girl. If I understood it. I still wouldn't believe it. Gosh, why are you forcing me to do a accent? Okay. It's the doctor, not Doc, and I assure you I'll try to make everything clear once we get our friends back, the doctor said. Hey, Doctor, Derpy asked, if this Solaris guy is this timeline, Celestia, wouldn't that mean they're safe? They're safe as we could make them? I don't think anywhere's safe until we can get back to our timeline and fix what went wrong, the doctor answered. The trio came back to the pink swinging doors of the bakery. Well, here we are. Bubbleberry should be in here. And I think Butterscotch was coming to help Barry set up for the party he's throwing later tonight, Applejack said. Now, Barry's the pink one, right? asked Derpy. Yes, ma'am, Applejack replied. And Butterscotch is the yellow one? Doctor guessed. You got it, partner. The little bell above the door rang as they stepped inside. Mr. Cake, who had been Mrs. Cake in their timeline, was behind the counter, polishing it to a perfect shine. Dinky sat at the table closest to the window, having just finished a muffin. Welcome to Sugar Cube Corner. I'll be with you in a minute, said Mr. Cake. He added another split shine to the countertop. Ew. Much to the doctor's disgust. Oh, and Applejack. Berry and Butterscotch are in the back if you want to help them out. Well, I guess I'll be back in a sec, Applejack said to the couple. He disappeared into the kitchen. Hey, guys, greeted Dinky. I saved you a muffin, Mom. Oh, and apparently all the boys are girls and girls are boys. She couldn't have been more casual. Dinky, we were totally looking all over for you, lied the doctor. Weren't you supposed to be with Nix anyways? Asked Derpy. There was a muffin sale. I'm only Pony, Dinky pleaded. Why, where is she? She is taken by this timeline Celestia. They don't know what she is here. They don't know what she is here, Derpy said. So if I had been there, I could have explained everything. Her head sank to the table. Now I feel like a butt. I'm sure everything will turn out okay. It's my fault, really. I knew time was going wonky, and yet I still let you two go alone, said the doctor. He noticed a blue bag and a giant mallet under Dinky's chair. What's all this under here, then? Oh, Pinkie Pie appeared out of thin air and gave me these, Dinky explained. Out of thin air? Tell me, did she have a big bracelet on that made a blue flash? The doctor asked. Yeah, how'd you know? She must have been wearing a vortex manipulator. Okay, a vortex. Manny, what now? Asked Derpy. It's a sort of mini time machine. A rubbish time machine, anyway. Did this Pinkie say anything, Dinky? She said the password was cherry chips, all the capitals, and the I is a Y. Oh, and if you saw her again, or Rainbow Dash, I should hit them with this thing, she said, brandishing the hammer. The doctor pressed his front hooves together and rested his nose against them. His eyes narrowed in thought. What does all this mean, honey? Derpy asked. I have no idea. Something has altered our timeline, then transported us to an alternate timeline to keep us from mixing it. And now it looks like we're already fighting it in the future. Well, I'm confused, Dinky said. Just then a pink pony burst out from the kitchen. Aha! New pony, she shouted. Dinky grabbed the mallet and was about to charge, but the doctor held her back. She said, another her, right? This is a guy, the doctor explained. The pink pony bounced all around the place. Oh my gosh, hi, I'm Bubbleberry. What the... You guys must be new. I've never seen you around here, and I know every pony in town. I don't know if any pony else has said it yet, but I'll say it anyways. Welcome to Ponyville. Oh, I'll have to throw you a welcome party, I know. We'll turn the party I was going to have tonight into your welcome party. I just wish I could have made it a surprise party, he said without taking a breath. Wow, I didn't think it possible, but we actually found a pony who talks faster than Dad, Dinky smirked. The doctor scratched at the back of his head. Oh wow, a party sounds really lovely, and I mean really, but we have something really important. Wait, Dr. Derpy said. Mr. Barry, you have a friend who's a real fast flyer, right? Yeah. Well, can he go to the castle for us? We have a couple of friends who are with Prince Solaris right now, and it would be really cool if they could make it to the party. Bubbleberry's eyes went wide at the corners of his mouth, went up as high as they could go. Even more guests? This party is going to be awesome. I'll go tell Blitz to get your friends right away. And with that, he galloped out the door. Oh, Derpy, that was brilliant, the doctor praised. And then he got an idea. I'll be right back, he said as he headed towards the door. Where are you going? Asked Derpy. I think I might know someone who can help out sort out this mess, he said right before heading out. A yellow pony with a pink mane poked his head out of the kitchen. He kept his head low to the floor. Oh, hello, he said timidly. Have you seen Barry? I think the cakes are starting to burn. So then Celestia officially put me in charge of raising her, Twilight said. She had been telling Dusk her and Nyx's story. He seemed to be intrigued, but he wasn't sure if he believed her. Dusk chewed at his lip. I guess that sort of makes sense. But how do you end up in our world? Well, you know the doctor, right? At Ponyville Hospital, Dusk asked. No, the one with the time-traveling box, Twilight answered. Okay, how stupid do you think I am? You know you have to believe me, but at least you don't have to believe me, but at least listen to the whole story. Anyway, the doctor, she trailed off. The doctor, why that miserable, he knew about Nyx this whole time. He pretended not to have heard of her, but he knows more about her than I do, Twilight fumed. Whoa, did I miss something? Twilight was about to answer, then she heard voices coming from outside the door. Then the box started shaking terribly, and we just landed here, she heard Nyx say. Twilight hurriedly opened the latch. She practically tackled Nyx in her haste to hug her. Oomph. Hello, Mama. Nyx gasped. Too tight. Twilight wasn't known to be the strongest pony, but man, could she give a bear hug. Nyx, I'm so glad you're okay. Yeah, I was just telling Mr. Solaris about this morning. He said you blasted him in the face trying to save me. That's so cool. Twilight could almost feel Solaris's stare. Yes, well, I certainly didn't mean any offense, Your Majesty, she said sheepishly. Normally, such a crime would be punishable by banishment or worse. However, after Nyx told me your side of the story, I think some leniency might be in order, Solaris said. He's so cool. Nyx noticed Dustshine gazing at her. Hi, I'm Nyx. Dustshine, he greeted nervously. Nyx cleared her throat. I'm sorry I attacked your friend. I thought she was a burglar. Well, I thought you were the reincarnation of an evil nightmare being, so I guess we're even. So what happens now? Twilight asked Solaris. Well, I suppose you're free to go. What? Dusk shouted. Your Majesty, I can go talk to you for a moment. Can I talk to you for a moment? Sorry. As you wish, student. Ladies, if you would remain here for a moment. Solaris and Dusk stepped out into the hall, Dusk shutting the door behind him. With all due respect, Your Majesty, you're not seriously just going to let them go, are you? I know they seem nice, but they still attacked us, and their stories are simply ridiculous, said Duskshine. Whoa. I know, Duskshine, which is why you're going to watch them for me. What? You'll escort them back to Ponyville, and I'll help them find the doctor. Solaris ordered. But, Dusk began. The stern glare in Solaris's eyes quickly shut him up. The prince knelt down to his student's level. I appreciate your concern, Duskshine. They've given you no reason to trust them, and that filly looks just like Anarchy Artemis. But if they're telling the truth, then you once again get to learn not to judge a book by its cover. And if they're lying and they are trying to bring about eternal night, then learn the most effective form of combat. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make them your friend. That is so true. Dusk Dusk sat and mulled over what his teacher had just said. Why did Solaris trust these ponies so readily? Heck, for all they knew, these could be monsters disguised as ponies. They had just copied him, and anarchy as females. Dusk decided to swallow his fears and obey Solaris. I'll try my best. If we're going back to Ponyville, can we stop for ice cream on the way? Came Nyx's voice from behind the door. Wow, that door isn't thick as it looks. Isn't as thick as it looks. Twilight and Nyx cantered out of the room. Yeah, because they canter a lot. Twilight looked around. She was always enamored by the white pillars and the hanging gardens full of purple flowers inside the castle halls. Her admiration was cut short when a gray unicorn guard came running up towards them. Your Majesty, exclaimed the guard, a very abrasive Pegasus is demanding to see your guests. They all heard a shouting coming down the hallway. Do you have any idea who I am? I'm the element of loyalty and the best flyer in all of Equestria. You should be asking for my autograph, not trying to kick me out. Typical Rainbow, Dusk and Twilight said in unison. An electric blue pony with a mane cast with all the colors of the spectrum swooped around the stone columns. He made a 3-point landing right in front of Dusk. Hey, guy, get your new friends and let's go. Hello, Blitz. What's the big hurry? Dusk asked. Barry's got that party tonight. He'd be real upset if you didn't make it. Oh, right, I forgot about that. And he said you had to bring your new friends because he stopped when he noticed Twilight. Whoa, Duskshine, there's 2 of you, and one of you is hot. I'm both flattered and disturbed, Twilight said. Dusk rubbed his temple. I'll explain her later, Rainbow. Whatever, man. But if we're going to make it to Barry's party, we gotta leave now. Dusk looked to Solaris. The prince gave him an approving nod. Solaris watched as the little group scampered down the hall and out the heavy oak doors. He sighed and looked out at the giant arc windows at the land below. Everything appeared to be as it should be. A great weight fell upon the prince's heart, and he returned to his throne. The truth was he agreed with Dusk. To lay a hoof on loyalty was a crime worthy of execution. For a split second, Solaris thought he saw a shadow behind him. In that second, it was as if a voice in his head told him to order Twilight back and throw her in the dungeon. He looked around, but there was no one there. He quickly dismissed the idea. Nyx had said the doctor had brought them there. Even though it couldn't possibly be his doctor, he owed that poor time mare more than he could repay. The prince sighed. That male stallion would never forgive him for the sins he committed. Whoa. Right. The doctor galloped down the Ponyville streets. I need to get a drink of water. The doctor galloped down the Ponyville streets. He was just a couple of blocks away from his house. Well, not his house, his alternate gender bender timeline counterpart's house. Beside, it wasn't like he was ever at the house much anyway. Dinky had school and Derpy had her mail route, so he spent his mornings and early afternoons adventuring through time and space. He generally took his family out to eat, usually on another planet, so evenings were out. And he and Derpy slept on the TARDIS because he simply could not sleep without the soft hum of the chrono drive in his ears. So it wasn't so much of a home for him, more like a parking spot for the TARDIS. He didn't he did keep a lovely flower garden in the front though. He rounded the corner and came to a stop. He was at the house, but it was a complete mess. The lawn was overgrown, the white paint was chipping away, the straw roof was moldy and decayed, and his flower garden was dead. What's going on here? Derpy would never allow the house to fall to this kind of state. The doctor cautiously approached the door. He knocked thrice and waited. That is like the third time thrice has been used in this fanfiction. And waited. After quite some time, he finally heard a stirring from inside. The door swung open, and he was certainly surprised by what he saw. The stallion before him looked like his wife, but he was quite overweight. His blonde mane was matted, long, and unkempt. Kempt. He had a short beard that had what the doctor assumed were muffin crumbs stuck on it. Dark circles surrounded bitter, sad eyes that looked in two different directions. Well, this is just morbid, said the stallion. So what are you? A past regeneration? Alternate timeline. The doctor answered apprehensively. Oh, can I help you? Well, I was wondering if there was another doctor here. The stallion's lips curled into a snarl. His nostrils flared. He looked like he was about to cry. No, there isn't. He shut the door and the doctor heard the latch close. Ooh. The sun was low in the sky, and by the time the doctor returned to Sugar Cube Corner, he heard the sounds of the party coming from inside. He walked in and saw Dinky playing Pin the Tail on the pony. 9 other ponies cheering her on. He was relieved to see Nyx and Twilight there, safe and sound. Dinky stumbled around blindfolded, a purple tail in her mouth. She placed the tail on the picture of the pony on the wall, firmly on its eye. Everyone chuckled. The doctor tried to remain inconspicuous, but it was too late. Barry had noticed him. Oh, hi, I was wondering when you were going to get here. The party started without you, Barry squeaked. Come here and meet every pony. Barry took the doctor by the hoof and led him to the rest of the group. Applejack was talking to a white pony with a well-kept mane of wavy purple hair. You already met Applejack. Here is Elusive. Oh, hello, the doctor greeted. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance, sir, Elusive said. Before the doctor could say anything else, Barry shoved him around the room towards a light yellow Pegasus. This is Butterscotch. Say hi, Butterscotch, Barry said. Hello, Butterscotch mumbled. Yellow Pegasus. Yellow Pegasus. Okay. Barry shrieked with delight and pushed the doctor towards Dusk and Rainbow Blitz. We're all going to be such good friends. Okay, now meet Dusk, Shine, and Rainbow Blitz. Dusk, Shine, Rainbow. This is, what's your name, by the way? The doctor. This is the doctor. Dusk, Shine looked the mysterious pony over. So you're the doctor, the other me keeps bringing up, but never explaining. I suppose so. Okay, every pony, let's dance. Bubbly Barry shouted. He put a record in the player and cranked the volume up as high as he could. A fun, fast little tune came out of the speaker. Derpy bobbed her head with the music. She felt someone nuzzle her just behind her ear. She turned to see the doctor, a sad smile on his face. "Hey, Time Muffin, did you get done whatever you were doing?" she asked. Time Muffin. He didn't answer. He gently put his forelegs around her neck and hugged her. "Aw, thanks, sweetie." Silence overtook the heart of the ever-free forest. Not a creature dared to make a sound. Something was wrong and unnatural slinked through the shadows. A nameless, faceless entity, as tall as 3 trees around it, twisted the growing evening shadows towards itself. Frustration overtook the abomination. The Time Lord and the Nightess had reunited quicker than it anticipated. Perhaps it was time to give them a taste of combat across the multiverse. The creature was concentrated. Space and time began to rip away from him. A tear appeared on the surface of reality, and the dark form stood in front of the monstrosity. Twilight and Nyx sat against the wall while other ponies danced. Nyx did her best to appear happy, but she doubted she was doing a good job. "So when do we get home?" asked Nyx. "Well," Twilight looked at the doctor. He was sat at a nearby table. His jaw was set firm, and he was staring at a slice of cake like he was trying to move it with his mind. The doctor has his thinking face on right now. When he snaps out of it, he'll tell us what we do next. Nyx sighed and hung her head. She felt a tap on her wing. Dinky placed a pink party hat with yellow streamers on her head. "Come on, Nyx. I hate parties with sad ponies. They stink," Dinky said. She nudged Nyx to stand up. "Come on, we're about to bob for apples." "All right, let's have some fun," Nyx said. She got up, and the 2 fillies ran to play. The doctor felt a hot sensation over his cutie mark. He had a pocket taped on his flank and painted to look like his hourglass, so he could carry his sonic screwdriver and psychic paper without drawing attention to himself. And it looked like the psychic paper had a message. He pulled a little black wallet out of his pocket, and a little slip of paper was stitched on its inside. A message in his handwriting began to appear before his eyes. "Dear Doctor, the things that have happened are happening now. Love, the late, great Doctor." The doctor reread the note twice. This didn't bode well. He scrambled to his feet. He was about to call out Derpy when another message came through. "P.S. Sorry if Bright Eyes came across as a little off-putting. He really is a great guy. He's just dealing with some things in his life right now. I'd go cheer him up, but I'm a tad dead at the moment. Also, duck." Doctor hit the floor as a huge tree branch crashed through the window. It grazed his ears and embedded itself in the opposite wall. Every pony was too stunned to move. Then Butterscotch screamed. They heard a faint whining noise. It grew louder and louder until it was a roar. The doctor rushed outside to see what it was. Every pony else followed. A giant blue metal shape moved impossibly fast in the sunset sky. It cut through the orange and purple clouds. Elusive noticed it appeared to be covered in some kind of tarp. "What is that thing? Is it some kind of dragon?" Butterscotch panicked. "It's a Harrier jet," the doctor said inquisitively. A voice rang out from above. "Pathetic organics. Your doom is at hand." To Twilight, the voice was all too familiar and incredibly irksome. "Trixie?" What? The jet began to twist and fold. Metal plates shifted around and changed shape. The sound of gears grinding and engines firing echoed through Ponyville as a new form emerged in the sky. What had been a cockpit was now a chest, and what so now she's a transformer, or what what had been a fuselage and was now a body with arms and legs. What had been an aircraft was now a sleek humanoid feminine robot. It wrapped the purple star covered tarp around its shoulders like a cape. The metal monstrosity fired flares into the heavens, which burst into a brilliant display of golden sparkles. Behold, you miserable ungulates, the most beautiful and deadly deception in all of the universe. Behold the great and powerful slipstream, the robot declared. That's the worst way to end a chapter on my end. I'm sorry. I'm not a really big fan of Trixie, but this is interesting. Slipstream. I still can't get over that name. I want to continue this, but I can't because I'm so tired. I thought Brayden was going to be doing this chapter, but apparently no. He can't get a handle on his life. So I am gonna do it from now on. By myself. Oh, forever alone. Oh, I like